Beni hiç görmene gerek yok. Ses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hazır mıyız abi?
What will be the question? Can you take me the question before?
Okay. Actually, general question about group stage and your performance the first game against Galatasaray.
The first Champions League game.
You won the game, the first game against Galatasaray, and maybe you can tell me something about this. Ayrı mı? Tamam. Coach, first of all, good luck for tonight, and this is really important game for group stage. You won the first game against Galatasaray. What's your expectation about tonight?
Thank you. First of all, my opinion is that our group in the Champions League game is the most tough group. We have the champion of Poland, the Belgium team Roselar, who play really incredible volleyball, Galatasaray and we. This means that it's really difficult to qualify. The first game was good for us. We play good, also Galatasaray, and finally with little bit luck in the end of the fifth set we win. But this is already the story. Now it's the new game. Our expectation is to fight for every single point for sure, because this is our identity as a team and as a club. We need to respect our club and to fight for our supporters. There are so many today, and I'm happy for this. For sure, we know the quality of Galatasaray game, but we are here.
Thank you, coach.
Thank you so much.
Hey Omar, welcome to one of the most iconic venues in world volleyball. For more
We miss some players. The season looks like that, but anyway, we try to do our best, and for sure we are ready to fight all the match long.
And by the way, what was your message for your players before the game?
No, I say that we have to push ourselves over our limit today for try to win this kind of match.
Coach, first of all, good luck for tonight, and this is really important game for group stage. You won the first game against Galatasaray. What's your expectation about tonight?
Thank you. First of all, my opinion is that our group in the Champions League game is the most tough group. We have the champion of Poland, the Belgium team Roselar, who play really incredible volleyball, Galatasaray and we. This means that it's really difficult to qualify. The first game was good for us. We play good, also Galatasaray, and finally with little bit luck in the end of the fifth set we win. But this is already the story. Now it's the new game. Our expectation is to fight for every single point for sure, because this is our identity as a team and as a club. We need to respect our club and to fight for our supporters. There are so many today, and I'm happy for this. For sure, we know the quality of Galatasaray game, but we are here.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you so much.
Coach, first of all, good luck for tonight. This is really important game for group stage. And Galatasaray lost the first game against Halkbank. What's your expectation about tonight?
Oh, I am expecting a great fight, for sure, because, of course, Halkbank is a great team. Built team for win everything, so for sure will be not easy for us. Like always, we miss some players. The season looks like that, but anyway, we try to do our best, and for sure we are ready to fight all the match long.
And by the way, what was your message for your players before the game?
No, I say that we have to push ourselves over our limit today for try to win this kind of match.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to one of the most iconic venues in the world of volleyball for more fantastic action from the CEV Zone Group Champions League and the All-Turkey matchup here on Eurovolley TV as home side in the Burhan Felek Arena. HDI Galatasaray Istanbul welcome the team in your picture. And your visitors, Halkbank ANKARA, in what could be a winner-takes-all game. And from one locker room to the other, both teams expectant of a very big match tonight. Simon Golding with you for this Pool B encounter, the second European meeting between these two sides. The first was an epic five-setter, as we heard our interviewer and coaches already mention. That eventually gave Halkbank their first win in Europe this season. Both teams, though, with identical records subsequently, so 2 wins, 1 loss on 3 points apiece. And they need victory today to keep their hopes alive of a playoff place, especially with the other teams in Pool B, the leaders Lublin of Poland and second place Nagrosler playing so strongly. Well, confirmation of what should be another epic encounter between these two. Visitors Halkbank ANKARA under coach Radostin Stoichev. They arrive in Istanbul in pretty good shape with their established lineup of legends, the likes of Lear, Swivka, Kazirski, Kayak and Sokolov, all comfortable at this level. But for Galatasaray coach, Italian Andrea Gardini, we heard him say in the interview, we are without players once again, and that has been the story of their season, really. So it's less positive with Thomas Yeski still out, and they're down a player in the middle too. So the likes of Mar, Wright, Tumer, Alonso and Patry, they're going to be under pressure this evening to deliver. Well, those are the fixtures still to come in Pool B. Not quite done and dusted just yet, but certainly Bogdanka, Eluka, Lublin going very well at the top. Nagrosler look like they've probably booked themselves a second place slot, and so Galatasaray and Halkbank will be battling to be the best of the third place teams across all the pools. So it does look like a very, very difficult situation for both the Turkey clubs right now. But let's not rule it out. Halkbank were brilliant last season in making the latter stages. And Galatasaray already proving, even players down, that they've got the quality to still go hard at the other teams in this group. Well, Halkbank ANKARA's last game was against Nagrosler of Belgium, lost that one in 5 sets. For Galatasaray, they managed to grab a set off Lublin, but a couple of those 3-2 victories might count in good stead as they head towards the latter stages of pool play. So Halkbank ANKARA in the blue, been using a variety of starters in their lineup. Does look like 37-year-old Bulgarian Tsvetan Sokolov in his second time here at Halkbank. He's getting more court time at the moment, ahead of Shotala of Czechia. Great to hear from you. And hashtag CEV as we head towards what should be another stunning finish to the season here in Europe. We've got some really fantastic games on the way, playoff stage, and then of course into the super finals. The other players for Halkbank that will be looking to get in on the action, Leal tends to start, and then it's either Kaziski or the Polish outside Alexander Swivka, who played last season in Japan with Suntory Sunbirds. He's been coming into some good form and making his way back to the court, and then we'll see who starts at setter. We've got actually 4 40-year-old plus players potentially on court in this tie. The oldest of them, Ulaş Kaya of Turkey, the setter of 44, started the last game between these two clubs here in Europe, and we expect to see him out on the floor. If not, though, Arda Bostan is an excellent backup, the 23-year-old in his second season here with Halkbank. On the other side of the net, Michael Wright of the USA has been getting some starts ahead of another veteran, 40-year-old Aslan Ekşi, another Turkey setter, and the two generals that run the show. If they do start, the two veterans, then they are absolute value to watch. Great fun to see out on court doing their stuff. But Wright has been the man who's managed to get a few starts just recently. In terms of their opposite, well, French Olympic champion Jean Patry is going to be out on the right side for Galatasaray, and Jan Koch, if not from Turkey, will be his backup, the 22-year-old. He's been in some pretty decent form so far this season, but a lot of the workload is going to lie with the left-siders, and Stephen Marr, whoever he starts with out of Gokchen Gunaidi. The Canadian will certainly have to deliver today, and they did in game one. You know, we heard from their coach Andrea Gardini that the team was understaffed, under pressure, and he'd asked them to give it their best shot. Well, they did more than that. They tested Halkbank all the way. There is Shotala, left-hander from Czechia. Pretty much a regular starter out on the right side, but with Sokolov coming back into some form. Hasn't had it all his own way. Tuna Uzunko just behind him. And in the number 4 shirt, the big boy, Baltaji, the middle blocker, 2 meters and 6 tall. Number 6, Brody Hoffa of Canada. Before we head to the Liberos, there's number 8, Volkan Duan, likely to get the start in the lineup today. And as you heard from coach Radostan Stoichev, quite a lot of the Halkbank fans have made the journey to watch this one. This and the gold medalist in terms of Jean Patry. So the last of the formalities about to get underway before we get this game onto court here on Eurovolley TV. Thanks for your company wherever you're watching. Always a good game between these two teams, whether it be in the league or whether it be Zeren Group Champions League. Halkbank ANKARA coming into this one based on the squads available as the marginal champions. Marginal favourites, that is. So time for a handshake at the net. And when you see these players lined up next to each other, you don't really get a full appreciation for the size. I mean, it's not just height, but these guys are big. I remember working with Michael Seeley, former USA international, a few years back, and talking about the fact that he was wandering around at the VNL, and he said it was like being backstage at the NBA. These guys are big athletes and powerful, skillful, and about to bring it all to the court here in Istanbul. There he is, wonderful player in his time, Andrea Gardini. From the coaches and the players to our two referees, Ivalo Ivanov for Bulgaria will be our first referee, and Yavuz Akademir will be our second referee from Turkey. So Bulgaria and Turkey in charge of the game for this all-Turkey clash. Two sets of fans just starting to make themselves heard here in the Burhan Felek. So it's always the opposition team that head out first to the floor. Mati Kaziski will be starting with the veteran setter, Ulash Kayak, 44 years of age. Leal will play left side with Kaziski. Jotala is going to start, so no Sokolov. And then it's going to be Metin and Bal Taji running through the middle with Volkan, as we suspected, at libero. Very good lineup. Big servers. And very experienced on that Halkbank ANKARA side of the net. On the other side, another veteran setter, so Arslan Ekşi starts in the setting position with Jean Patry opposite. Gökçen starts through the, well, says he's through the outside with Stephen Mark. We'll see about that. And then Alonso through the middle. So it is Gökçen starting out on the left side. It is Alonso starting through the middle. Stin Stoichev then, I would think that that's pretty much the lineup he was expecting to be facing. But there are options for Andrea Gardini. He's got some really talented players on the bench that he can go to should he need to. But he will certainly want the likes of Alonso and Mar and Patry to be delivering out there on court. That's extremely important today. Chaneoglu, one of the two liberos likely to be involved. I think they do play a side inside-out system, so the liberos switch between passing and defending, which they're perfectly able to do as a free roaming substitution. And, we are just about good to get this one underway. Hassan will be the passing libero to start with. We'll see if he stays in the whole time. There he is, there's the veteran on the side of the net. Kayak, at 44 years of age, he's still absolutely brilliant. He's such a good watch. Away we go in the Burhan Felek here in Istanbul, and it's the away side in blue, Halkbank ANKARA, that get this Pool B match underway against the home side, HDI Galatasaray Istanbul. First point on the board to a man that's going to have to score as many as possible tonight if Galatasaray are to win. Jean Patry, Olympic champion from France. Romy Alonso Cuban international middleman with the serve. A very steady player. Starts by putting the ball in. Volkan passes to yank at that set to Kayak to get that to Schottler. Well defended by Leal. Schottler gets a cleaner set this time, but balloons it out of play. Not the start from the opposite. What Radostin Stoichev, his coach, would have liked. Incidentally, one of the starters I didn't mention for Galatasaray, a man that really impressed me in game one, 2 meters and 2 tall Turkey middleman Ahmet Tümer. That's his middle blocking partner, Alonso, with the hybrid serve. Really caught Kaczynski off the net, and the 3-man block is so well established against Schottler. I think it might have been Patry here joining as the 3rd man that puts this one on the floor, monster block style. It is. The Frenchman has just nailed that. Had a very slow start in game one, Jean Patry, until he started to influence proceedings towards the end. But he's got off to a flyer here, as have the home side. Galatasaray 3-0. Overpass should be 4-0. Tümer goes quick through the middle. Recycled by Mar. Clever tip. Clever tip. Patry's on fire. Get a very early time out here from Radostin Stoichev. He will not be happy with the lack of attention to detail from his team in the early phases. The problem with perfect starts is that it's not easy. Ask any coach, they take it, but you know that at some point the opposition is start to play. That's when the match really starts. But for the moment, Galatasaray in control. Romy Alonso will serve again. Kaczynski beaten. Nice, really nice change-up this from Alonso. Ace serve from the middleman on the hybrid. So it's a float ball toss, and then he just puts a cheeky bit of topspin on. The pace is done for Marti Kaczynski. About 4 40-plus-year-olds involved in the match. 41. Kaczynski, his 23rd pro season. Crazy numbers. Alonso again then, 5-0. This time the net intervenes, and the first point to Halkbank is via an error from their opponents. Sporting, some might say, from Romy Alonso. And now the game starts. Back at the line, Schottler into the front court, so 3 tall blockers for Halkbank. Good containment by the block. Leal doesn't get it where he wants the ball, but Kaczynski given a nice high out-of-system set to aim at. And goes hard off the block for his first point of the game. Well, they've done their homework because they were stacking there on Patry. Close down his cross court. Middle's available. Middle defended. Good blocking. Baltashi slowing it down, gives Leal the chance to defend, and Kaczynski makes up for the earlier passing error. It's quality hitting. Change of angle from Kayak, the setter. Defended by Volkan. Leal gives another high ball to Kaczynski, who this time goes off pace. And a real clash of bodies there on the floor. That could have ended up really nasty. On the home side are conceding the very positive early lead pretty easily here. That could have been nasty. Mar Hassan going full flight. enough from Patry. Teams with decent international quality players to call into the game should they need to. First chance for Patry to go big at the service line. Frenchman with 4 points in the game already. Deep serve, overpass is contained very nicely by Kayak. What a beautiful set from the 44-year-old. Got the blockers involved. They thought it was coming over. But look at the fingertip set there. That's class. Third point for Kaziski. Kaziski to serve. Oh, wow. Patry is just majestic at the moment. Out of the back line here. Clubs it past Leon. Chen, just 21 years of age. Playing out on the left side alongside Stephen Marr for Galatasaray. Halkbank getting a bit more control into the game now. Good attack from Baltaji. 27-year-old middleman, 2 meters and 6 tall, and goes past Tumer easily. Baltaji will serve. Well, a couple of aces in the first meeting between the two teams. Nice. First chance for Marr to open his shoulders. And the Canadian puts a big dent in the Halkbank court off a good tempo ball from Hutch. Very nice. To get a serve. 5-point lead turns into a 2-point lead, but this will feel more like a game now. And Gardini, the Galatasaray coach, won't mind. Oh, service. Ahmed Tumer doing what he did so well in game one, being aggressive through every sequence of play. 2 aces now for Galatasaray in set one. Game plan here from the home side in the orange and red is clearly to go as hard as they can at the Halkbank passes. And so far, it's produced a lot of decent situations. That intervenes again, but Tumer's created another break. So side out. There's a 3-point lead, and that's a lead that they can take really deep in this set, Galatasaray. Now, tricky server, Marek Shotala, left-hander, bends it across the passes, and Marr only just gets hands on that. Oh, what a spike. Well, Stephen Marr off a very difficult ball here. The set is excellent because it's on the tape. He's recovered well from the floor, bumped high and onto the tape, and he's gone straight over the top of Ulash Kayak. Really clever hitting, thoughtful hitting. Aslan XG then with the serve. Kaziski passes easily. Middle defended. Oh, clever. There's Romeo Alonso doing his setter's option ball impression. Set it, gonna set it. No, I'm not. Clever. Clever boy. Actually, again, 11-7. Galatasaray getting out of the blocks fast in this game. Huge from Leo. And he'll be quite happy that he's gone past Patry there. He'll feel that that's just set the record straight. Let's see if there was a seam. No, the seam is between the arms of Patry. In the uprights. 8-year-old Joan de Leala into the net, halfway up the net as well. Not his best by any means. He's got some arm on him still. Yeah. Proved that in game one, some massive serving. Mark can hit a ball as well from the baseline. Second visit to the service line for him. Point scoring is fast and furious. extended rallies just yet. Oh, clever. Again, I just love watching these two setters work, and on that occasion was Ekşi producing a bit of flash. He has a really good look at the middle here. Watch him looking, and once he decides Alonso's available, he goes. Brilliant shot. Pass Kaziski. Schottler at last is into the game. Bit unsettled, Marek Schottler, by the early exchanges. Blocker's got him contained. This is a lovely swing from the lefty. Thumping blow from Patry. 6 points in the match now for the Frenchman. Pass off the net and serve. A few players from the women's teams here in Turkey watching on. Istanbul. Kazo, French captain, in the middle of all those players. As Alonso, who started the game so brilliantly from the service line, wafts that one away for the error. So 4 points in it. That's perfectly makeable for this Halkbank ANKARA team. Once again, 3 tall players in the front court. And great defensive work from Volkan. Kaziski from way off the net, belts it. Hassan's in the right place. Patry off the block, recycled by Gökçen. First swing for him is defended. Patry forced to volley and get the recycle. He's done it again, looking for that ball from way off the net to the middles. And it's causing absolute turmoil. Our first really extended rally goes the way of Galatasaray, and that was a brilliant exchange between the two teams. Blocking was fabulous, both sides of the net. Until that last play from Gökçen. First point of the game for him. Patry back at the line. There's going to be a substitution on a passing level. So Alexander Swivka, Polish left-hander, comes into the action as a passing sub. Getting quite a bit of court time recently, Alexander Swivka. But at the moment, consigned to the role of a substitute. What a serve, what a serve. Ace off the arms of Kaziski. And for all of Kaziski's good work, it's being undone by the brilliance of Jean Patry and his colleagues. So aces now for Tume, Alonso and Patry on the Galatasaray side of the net, and a second timeout for Halkbank ANKARA coach Radostan Stoichev. And you can join the European volleyball conversation online at #CEVM. Just put a W on the back of that hashtag to talk about the women's side of the draw, and whatever you're talking about, I think you're going to be talking about some fabulous games on the way. Both sides of the draw. So Ulaş Kayak and Marek Schottler with the coach, they're involved in a discussion. They need Schottler into the game. At the moment, he's not in the match. They need him in the game, Halkbank, because Patry is pretty much running the show right now. Off pace, clever serve, just about contained by Volkan. And Kaziski knew that Patry was the defender. He knew if he could get it short enough and quick enough, that would probably win the point, and he's absolutely right. 4 points for the veteran Bulgarian. Leal comes back in to the front line. Swivka returns to the bench. Kaziski will serve. Really challenging the baseline there, but Not a bad swing. Chen Yüksel at the service line. First season here with Galatasaray. Signed from Ankara in the off-season. Leal puts it away. Second season Halkbank man. 49 points at the start of this match. So relatively meagre return for him at this point. To it rather nicely in this game, and another substitution from Radostin Stoichev. This time in comes the Canadian. He's replaced Baltaji. Canadian Brody Hofer is in. Former Trinity Western University player. And it's not easy. It is not easy coming on from the bench and trying to make an impression. You're on, you're off, and the same applies to Baltaji, the middleman, who is replaced by Volkan, the libero. We're back to the powerful and tricky topspin serve of Ahmed Tümer. See if he can get some fizz on this one. That'll do nicely. Very good. Kaziski out of the pipe. Not the fastest pipe you'll see this season, but hits it accurately. What Chen could do in defence. Still a 5-point cushion though. See if Schottler can find a couple of big left-handed aces. Pass. Beautifully done. Oh, the pace out to the wing for Ma, fantastic, but good defence from Volkan. And quite justifiably celebrates that one. Creates the transition opportunity. The opportunity to put it away is taken. Big swing again from Leal. 4 points in the game for the Brazilian. Tip, first power tip we've seen of the game, and it induces a net touch fault against the Halkbank blockers. Now here's the element to Galatasaray's play that doesn't always make sense to me. Patri is very quiet again at the moment, having started the game brilliantly. I just think it's important to keep him in the flow of the play. Gets the recycle, can't quite get ready for the hit. Has to go to Ma, and it's tapped down to the floor. Knew he had one blocker, and he knew that that blocker was Ulaş Kayak at just 1m80. Watch him finish this. This is another smart hit. 3 points for Ma. Now they went on a bit of a run with Aslan Ekşi at the service line. Ulaş Kayak comes out. Setting returns to the bench. Bostan is his automatic replacement these days, the youngster. Smoothly done. Defended by Galatasaray. Schottler gets another go. This time the deflection takes it past Gökçen. A solid start from Bostan. Clearly came in with the instructions to get Schottler going, get him working. Now we need some big serves from Leal in terms of getting this scoreboard closer. That'll do for starters. Well defended. Ma. Out of system, swing into the far corner is perfect. Took a piece of the blocker's fingers with it. It's a very good side out, given the brilliance of the service. serve. Signed on 2 seasons at Monza in the Italian top division in the summer. Good pass. Kaczynski forced to go off pace. Very well defended by Gökçen. Standing start from Ekşi, can't get much on it. And that's brilliant from Mars. Super counter block as well from Alonso. Still in play. Oh, so unlucky there. Hassan absolutely flying from backcourt to make this defensive touch. And he actually overran this. It's Janer, my apologies, he's in on the defensive plays. He's overrun it and it's bounced off his arm and hit him in the face. Great reactions, just couldn't quite make the play. Chance again for Halkbank. There we go. That's why Patry has to be kept in rhythm. Keep him in the game. On his way to double figures here, Jean Patry. Looks like the first set has gone Galatasaray's way. So middle player, Alonso to serve, which means no libero on court. Position 5 is very often the position that attackers target when the middle blocker is there. Their one defensive rotation. Good block. Very good block, well organised. And once again, Schottler is stopped. Let's see who got him. Tümer and Gökçen. It's Tümer that does the job. 23-16, all the way back round to this first rotation for Galatasaray that they served in the match. Deciding out the first ball, and they served themselves into a 5-point lead with Alonso. Unusual pass from Kaczynski. Schottler blocked again. This is a massive problem for Halkbank because Gökçen and Tümer et al. Are all over Schottler at the moment. Tümer's done him again, massive jump. And a super line from Gökçen to keep his middle blocker where he wants him. 8 set points. Galatasaray have run riot in this opening set. Out of bounds, no touch on the block, 25 points to 16. HDI Galatasaray Istanbul takes set number 1 from Halkbank Ankara with ease. So teams change ends, you'd say, on the basis of recent form. The fact that Galatasaray are still suffering with players missing, that Halkbank Ankara should have been favourites coming into this. The 5-set win in game 1, they've been anything but. Halkbank Ankara have not managed to get going in this match just yet. CEV Zeren Group Champions League volleyball action from Istanbul here on Eurovolley TV, and it's the home side Galatasaray that have got off to a perfect start. 3 aces in that opening set. 3 blocks, special teams functioning at the highest level. From their opponents in blue, Halkbank ANKARA, nothing on special teams. Too many errors in the tactic. Going big from the service line, working for Galatasaray. They're keeping Halkbank out of system. They're reading the setup pretty well, which means that more often than not, the attackers have got 2 or 3 blockers on them. The blocking from Galatasaray has just been brilliant. Gokchen, 2 very mobile blockers, and then you've got the height of Patri out on the right side. One thing we've learned though here in Turkey, and particularly between 2 teams like this, is that it's never over till it's over. It looks good at the moment for the home team. There's a long way to go yet. Stephen Marr, the Canadian, just confirming exactly what his coach Andrei Gardini wants. Still no Swivka on court for Halkbank ANKARA. It's going to be Leal and Kaziski starting left side again. About good to go then. That's set number 2. Which is imparting a bit of final instructions. Stojev's talking to his big middle blocker, Samet Ahmet Baltaji. Away we go then. Change of ends. Galatasaray, the red and orange, playing from right to left in set 2. They lead comfortably in this match at the moment. And they'll be looking for more of the same in set number 2. Kaziski gets his point, but via a slightly unfortunate deflection for Stephen Marr. Let's be honest, we've all done it. Been very quiet in the match. Relatively diminutive middle blocker, Metin Edgrul Gazi. Making his way into the match at all. Getting an absolute roasting from his coach. Stoichev losing his patience with his players. Alonso gets another cheeky ball to go off the arms of the passer. It's still in play. Patri's there. Marr thought about it, but decides just to volley it over. And Kaziski just wails it into the far corner. Well, Mati Kaziski, you still get those glimpses of the unbelievable player that he was in the heyday of his career. He was one of the world's best. He's still brilliant. 42 years of age. I made him a bit younger early, by the way, 41. He can thank me later. Schottler is still struggling for a way into the match. Gokchen with the overhand pass and a very good finish off the one blocker. Good game, Gokchen Yüksel. And the ace comes for Patri, second ace of the game then for the Frenchman. And already some concerns for the visitors in set 2. 9 points, 2 aces for Jean Patri. And again, huge, brilliant pass from Volkan, super swing from Kaziski. 8 points for Mati Kaziski. His turn to show what he can do from the service line. If you ever get to watch a warm-up, and watching a warm-up live with Mati Kaziski is something else, but if you get to watch Mati Kaziski warm-up, he is metronomic. As I said this in the last commentary, I think you could put a postage stamp on the court and he would hit it every time. Bounce it up into the crowd. It's amazing to watch. He's doing pretty well in the game. Serving at the moment hasn't made an impact. See if Gokchen can find something. Got it all wrong. Ball toss wrong, got underneath it. But there's no option at this level. Easy serves come back very hard indeed. So you have to try. You have to put pressure on from the service line. And the Halkbank fans don't look too happy at the moment. And that's why, because they're making this look easy, Galatasaray. The ball control is excellent, which means Ekşi has all his options more often than not. He's running that tempo ball out to Mar, and he is annihilating it. Swing from the Canadian. Timer, tricky jump serve. Into play, overpass, collected by the same man. He's nearly late to the party there, Ahmed Timer, but he's made it work. The feed to Jean Patry means double figures for the Olympic champion with another priceless swing. This is back to Patry's best tonight. He looks properly good. Enjoying himself as well. It's good to see. Unless you're a Halkbank player or fan, that is. 2-point lead open. Timer goes again, clips the net, and the deflection takes it off the hands of a diving Kaziski. The diving Volkan can't salvage the problem. There's another ace. Ahmed Timer's second ace. Now, just as a silly aside, and it is very silly, Ahmed Timer has scored ace, block, block, ace. I'll leave you to work it out. Oh, good touch from Gokchen. And brilliant from Mar. Out of system swing. Hits it with enough power and enough height to take it off the hands of the middles and away. Well, both Metin and Schottler are struggling in the match at the moment. Time out for Stoichev.
Go back and stop straight. One side out.
Last one was very good.
So they're getting bogged down here in side out, and then when they do manage to side out, the service just isn't strong enough or consistent enough from Halkbank Ankara. And they've got 2 rotations where they are getting hurt really badly. So I think Stoichev is going to have to consider some changes here. Swivka and Bostan will be the 2 players that spring to mind. Well, he was told he could go for that by Andrea Gardini. His Italian coach has just told Timer to give it full throttle, but he's missed. Schottler goes out to the left-hand side of the court. He bends this serve right across the passes. That's another fine delivery. Patry taps it off the top of the swing. Defended easily. Gets down to the floor to make the play. Oh, too good. All a bit of a mix-up there. Ekşi couldn't get to the ball because Alonso was in his way, and I think Ekşi wanted the ball to be set to him. He's a 2-metre tall setter, the number 10. He wanted that ball there, but Romy Alonso gets in on it and gets roofed by Leao. 5 points for Leao. 3-point lead is reduced to 2, and Schottler gets another go from the baseline. Just tricking it up on the pass. Mar tips it through the block, and you'll see that quite a bit. Just keep an eye on the passers and effectively what they're doing, a bit like stacking the block in front court. They're trying to con the server that the passer they want to serve at is stood in a different place. It's not, I don't think it's an easy thing to do. I think it puts you under a lot of pressure as a passing unit. But it's a theory, it's a tactic, and when the ball tosses high enough, you can do it. Right, Captain Aslanekshi with the serve. Pass is good from Volkan. Liao comes on the tempo ball and he's put it out. Liao says in. Does Radostin Stoichev want to go with it? He does. We're going to see our first video challenge of the match. It's the Halkbank Ankara coach that he's going to ask for a look at this on the video. I'm pretty sure it's in out as opposed to any kind of touch off the block. Let's have a look. Look at that sideline. Close. And remember, these guys flatten the Mikasa. When they hit it, they just compress it so hard onto the court. But it does sometimes squash back onto the line, even though it initially looks wide. There you go. Ball in. Ball in. Good challenge. And good pair of eyes from Yuandi Liao. Successful challenge means you retain the challenge and you also win the point. Liao to serve again. He's not in rhythm, is he? Yuandi Liao by any means. Pacing out his run-up for the serve. Very specific about his pre-shot routine. Got the outcome he wanted. Very good. I must admit, I really thought Ekshi was going to go pipe there to Ma. I just wonder if the blockers here were just thinking about it. Bartaji just didn't leave the ground. Great attack. Four points then for Romy Alonso, including an ace. So two serve errors on the bounce from Galatasaray. Some signs here that their serving pressure is just starting to drift, just starting to wane. At the time when Halkbank get three good blockers in the front court for three rotations. Shotala again just used by Gokchen, who's really enjoying his time down there on court today. 2 meters and 4 tall youngster in his early 20s still, waxing up the arms of Shota. Goes full throttle on the celebration. Back to the pressure that the Patri serve brings. 3 rotations now for Galatasaray that they will want to get through with minimum damage done, but they would like a bonus point here and there. They're going to get one. They're going to get one here by the looks of it. No, they're not. No, they're not. Blockers looked at that hard and decided it was definitely going to Patri. And Baltaji and Kaziski have organised well. Yeah, great arrival from Baltaji. He was a little bit late onto the scene, but timed it perfectly in the end. Kaziski sets a good line. 12-10. Can Halkbank find some serving pressure? They need it. Good serve. Gokchen out of system. Blockers this time get some control. And Liao, oh my goodness. Well, if we see this one again, you'll see just how high Tumer jumps. Watch the reach on the middle blocker here, the number 7. Oh my giddy aunt. Brilliant. He's added a B to his ABBA. Gokchen. Great defence on Schottler. Where was Ekşi? That was not Tumez's ball, I don't think. I think the setter probably could have got there, but have a look at it. Watch the setter here in defence. No, gave that one up pretty quick. So Halkbank are finding things a little easier on side out here. At the moment, the serving from Galatasaray isn't quite as strong, and that is a stinger. That's a stinger. It's nasty when it comes down on the end of your thumb like that. And it's a constant problem. It's a constant threat for the blockers in this sport. Your hands get used to it, but that's why some of the middles look like they've got oven gloves on, covered in tape. And unfortunately for Stephen Marr, who isn't a middle blocker, this is a nasty one. And you're allowed running repairs on the sidelines these days. You don't have to be taken off court if the physio thinks they can get enough tape on in time. But that's clearly hurt Stephen Marr. The main problem is it's his hitting hand. Let's hope that, from his point of view, that is something that the tape will fix. The Halkbank bench, understandably, trying to make things a bit tricky, asking how long. A bit more to worry about inside of things than tape going onto Stephen Marr's hand. Let's see if the Canadian is affected by that. His first swing. Taji to serve again, 2 points in it. Easy pass for Gökçen. He's all right. Stephen Marr swings full throttle at that one. And a good delay here. He's very clever at this. He's just like the man he's just beaten, actually, Mati Kaziski. He's got a very nice range on when he actually swings on the ball. Watch the delay here from the number 13. Just waited for the block to go down. He's timed it perfectly. Points for Marr. Back to the tough serve of Tume. He's caused problems with this serve tonight, the middleman. And again, out of system. Leal, blockers on him. And it's defended really well. Ekşi gets the swing and then tumbles. Well played. This is superb defence from Galatasaray. And they've done it again. They're going to get a swing at this. Marr, high ball. Tries to take it down the line via the blocker's fingertips and doesn't get the control. Body's all over the place there. Oh, it was open. It was open as well. Kicking himself after that one, Marr. 14-12, back to the shot on the serve. Good power and big ace. Wonderful hit. Knocks Hassan over. And Schottler showing signs of getting into the match. That's only his 4th point. Better pass from Gökçen. Oh, that's a dreamy set. That's just amazing from Ekşi. And that's why we love watching him and Kayak play, because they still do stuff like this. That is some set to Romy Alonso. Ekşi to serve, 5th point for Alonso in the game. 2nd time he's been given that very quick B through the middle. Oh, off the net. Well rescued and well finished by Leal. And the signs here are quite encouraging for Halkbank Ankara. Good awareness. The pancake puts the ball in the air, and then eventually Leal is fed it and he puts it away. But according to Andrea Gardini, he feels that this This has hit the floor. On that replay, though, it looked pretty good to me. Mancini and Pink Panther to accompany this challenge. Some music, amazing. Perfect film score writer of the 60s and 70s. Mancini, the composer. Don't think he ever thought that it would be used as the music for a volleyball video challenge, though. Why not? This one is taking a bit of time to find the right piece of footage. The referee has said it's okay, so the video technician and referee have to find a frame that is convincing enough to overturn it, and if they can't find that, they'll have to stay with the referee's call. Fans aren't too happy, but the video that they found proves the ball hit the floor, and no blame on the referee. From that position on the stand looking down, you cannot see that hasn't been completely covered by the hand, and that's a very good use of a challenge by Andrea Gardini. It's a very useful point for Galatasaray. They needed that, but now they need serve rhythm to return. He's defended, and they are denied the defence because the block has infringed. It was a pretty heavy collision, was it, between Alonso and Mar? Oh, he's hit the net on the way up. Would you believe it? Choo-choo train block from Stephen Mar, but the hands, the Pistons, just get on the net. Leal, big serve. Chance for Halkbank now to put the pressure on. Lovely shot. That's pretty much as out of system as you can get on the playing area, and to still win the point from this so convincingly is very good for Galatasaray, but they are definitely under pressure at the moment. Missed his last serve. Can he put this one in? Goes off pace to make sure. Chotelet off the top of the blocker's fingertips. I think it was Alonso that was reaching high. 5th point for Chotelet, and he's starting to play. It's actually Gokchen, my apologies. Continue to Grul with the serve. And it's not a great pass from Gokchen, it's a free ball. Should be able to reduce the lead to 1 here. And Halkbank do exactly that, a very calm and controlled hit from Mati Kaziski. Now, we're back to an earlier point that I made in the match. Where is Jean-Patry? Where's he gone? He's made his way to double figures. We've not had a point from him since, and Galatasaray need him in the game. Given a chance to play, and it's been a long time since his last hit, and they control him and then put the subsequent shot away. Leal out of the pipe, demolition job, and scores a level. Halkbank are back in the set. All, first time out that Andrea Gardini has been forced to call in the match. Tricky here for Gardini. He knows the thing that really has to be good again, the thing that has to improve, and that is the serve. He knows that serving has to be stronger once again, but that's one of those intangibles in volleyball coaching. Just saying serve better doesn't help. There's got to be something else part of it. So Gardini's staying away from that. He knows his players understand what they've got to do. They will understand that at the moment they're just out of rhythm from the service line. So he's just given them the focus elsewhere. Trying to get this block functioning again. Side out required first of all. Romy Alonso shoves it straight into the blocker, and Baltashi alongside Ulash made a really good stop there. And for the first time, Halkbank Ankara have the lead. Trouble for Galatasaray. Oh, there was a little bit of afters there. Watch Alonso after he hits this one. Just went after Baltashi a little bit there. A brilliant hit, by the way. What a set, what a daring set from Ekşi to go back to him, and just got a wry smile out of one of the former middle greats, Andrea Gardini, his coach. Even the sound again. Goes float, Kaziski, not a great pass. Tough ball for Schottler. It's defended by Patry. Nice replacement from Ma. Schottler defends. Oh, what a rally. That is just amazing from both teams, but it's Galatasaray's point. Brilliant defence from Patry. What a change of position from Ma, and what a super piece of defence from Schottler, followed by magnificent blocking from Tümer. Tümer has dealt solely in blocks and aces. 4 blocks, 2 aces at the moment for him. Blocking partner Alonso continues to serve. Trouble again. Oh wow, Kaziski's hit that very hard, and it's come off Tümer's block and hit the libero straight in the face. This is not a nice one for Hassan. Straight off his temple. If that had gone any lower, that would have been really bad. Tümer brilliant again. Blocking masterclass, and what a recovery from Galatasaray. Straight away they force Stoichev into a second timeout.
With the shift ball, 2 and 4, more and more. And after you decide where
Heard both coaches there. We heard one very simple phrase from Andrea Gardini, side outs and we're there, and he's absolutely right. They don't need another point on service, although that would be a bonus. From Coach Stoichev's point of view, he's just not happy that Marek Schottler is not exploiting the angles that he thinks the left-hander has available to him. Leal leaves the court for the moment. Again, I think a passing substitution to bring Alexander Swivka in, the Polish international. Olympic silver medalist in Paris. Alonso to serve again after the timeout. Keeps it in play. Easy pass for Kaziski. Defended. Real chance to score. Not the best set from Ekşi to Ma. But they might not pay the price here. Good takeover from Gökçen to give it to Patry. Patry can't beat the tumbling defence of Schottler. And it's still in play. High ball, Patry again, tips it line. Clever read from Swivka. And Schottler finds the angle, can't find his way past Romy Alonso. Another brilliant rally and super finish. Ho, ho, ho. Well played by Baltashi, and he gets an extra special hug from Swivka. Super defence, again, both sides of the net. Baltashi's 4th point then. Someone has finally put the ball past Tümer, who's been a blocking monster today. So, we're back to what Andrea Gardini said just a few minutes ago, or a few moments ago. Side outs, and we're there. Pain spray going on for a pinged finger. Good serve. Patry again out of system, he's blocked, and just when they need John Patry to be at his best, he can't find his way past Kaziski and Baltashi once again. 5 points for Baltashi with that block. 20 all. Halkbank are in it again. Second comeback of this second set. Captain serves. Slightly better pass. Patry asked to do it a third time, and this time it's a charm. Just manages to catch the fingers of the late arriving middleman. Patry's 11-point last. In comes American setter Michael Wright. It's a big ask this for Wright. Patry's gone to the back line, but Wright brought in to try and just produce a blocking touch if he can, and Patry has lost his way here. Oh, this is interesting if Wright stays on. Leal returns, Swivka comes back to the bench. Ever the professional he is, he welcomes Leal back to the court, but he'll be disappointed to be out of the action. It's Wright staying in. Big block. Baltashi, Shotala, Leal. It's a big block, and that is a big serve. But I'm not sure that's the right time for Kaziski to try that. Far be it from me to say, of course, but he needed to exploit a good serve in court, but try and make Galatasaray beat the big blockers. Got Chen to the line, 22-21. Galatasaray back to just a single-point lead. Easy ball to pass. Easy shot to make for the likes of Kaziski, who at 42 years of age is still flying around like a junior. Get the mobility here from the number 3. What a swing. Double figures for Mati Kaziski. Baltashi to the bench once again. Brody Hofer, who's got a fantastic serve, has been asked to come on from the bench and try and do a job. He was asked to do that in the first set in different circumstances and missed. This is far more pressure, and he's got it in. Overpass, counter block by Ekşi is good, and that's a brilliantly played ball. That's a brilliantly played ball. And Ekşi has pulled a fast one there. He's back on court for Wright, obviously, and he is front court, so he can do this. And he's done it rather well. Good swing from Ma to finish. They are surviving. Now, Tumer has hit nothing but power from the service line. They're going to look at this on the video challenge. They're going to delay him as long as possible. That's why Stoichev has gone to this challenge. I don't think he feels he's going to win it. Good serve from Hofer. They're going to leave him on to be part of the pass. This, of course, is just staying on to wait the outcome of this challenge to see if he gets another service by Wright. It looked wide to me. It looked wide of the court off the shot to the block. And all the time, this is playing with Ahmed Tumer's mind, so this is where you have to get it absolutely right when you're the server waiting in these situations. It's almost like you have to actually go through this period of time with no thought process about the serve at all, and then when you know which way it's gone, try and start your pre-serve routine. It's a net touch they're asking for. That's not happening. Challenge lost, but they have got a considerable delay, and they've still got a challenge left. Halkbank ANKARA. So a test for Tumer, who's served really well in the game. Hofer does indeed return to the bench. Baltashi was the man he was in for. So the Libro's back on court to receive this, and Tim is just trying to get into his serve mentality now. On he goes. Good service. Out of system ball here for Leal. Oh, wow. That is an immense spike. What a hit. Patry nearly wearing one down the line. Now, it's a good server to come to the line for Halkbank. Schottler off pacer. Well controlled by Ma. What a set again from Ekşi. Nobody there. That's what Alonso's saying. Nobody at home. Warm-up hit. Oh, it's a freebie. Right, Ekşi to serve. Line up in the front court then is big for Galatasaray, so tall blockers everywhere. Ulaş has to make sure of this set. Where does he go? Well, his options are depleted. Out wide to Leal. Not a great set, but a good recycle. In system now. Schottler defended brilliantly down the line. Ma to win it. Oh, he's missed the hands. He's missed the hands. And Stephen Ma says, don't waste a challenge. Not unless you want to slow the game down. This was the chance to be 2-0 up. Taken. Pressure ball. Not taken. Time required, not for the first time between these two teams, and it's a double substitution. Sokolov is available to come in then, but only as a blocking sub at this stage. 24 all, 2 clear points required. Leal goes to work, mishits the serve. That's just stunning. That is absolutely stunning from Alonso. Watch the availability here of the middleman. Beautiful, just beautiful. Substitutions reversed. Second set point arrives for Galatasaray, and it's Stephen Ma to serve. He's got to put it in. He's got to put it in. Does so. No, out of bounds. I thought he maybe found the corner, but it's wide of the mark. 2 set points go begging. So Patry favourite to get the ball here, but it's going to be a tough shot for him. Does Ekşi want to go back to Romy Alonso once more? He does. Oh, Alonso, 3 in a row. Fabulous middle hitting from the Cuban. Great pass as well from Gökçen. Third set point arrives. Romy Alonso, who's been the hero of the last few minutes. He's got an ace to his name tonight. He'll learn another one here. No, goes off pace. Pass from Leal is good. Ball is defended. That's going to be over the net, and that's going to be a fault against Baltaji. Just couldn't resist. He couldn't resist, and the referee gives the point to Galatasaray. And they lead the match by 2-0, and a fair bit of chat from the players after this one, but you can't do that. Well, the game just starting to get a bit spicy now. Big set. 36 minutes of volleyball for 27-25, but Galatasaray absolutely losing some momentum and some rhythm. Halkbank ANKARA not quite able to make the most of it, but teams need the victory tonight, that's for sure, here in Pool B of the CEV Zeren Group Champions League. A 3-0 for Galatasaray would be absolutely priceless. 3-2 for Halkbank ANKARA, and that's the only way that Halkbank are going to win the game. Well, it's a victory. It may not end up doing them that many favours if they can't take a win in their last game. Well, set one was pretty straightforward, but set two was a really good watch. Another 3-ace, 3-block return for Galatasaray, although they're off we go then with set number 3. The team in blue, Halkbank ANKARA, on the wrong end of a 2-0 scoreline here. Can they find a way back into the game? Good defence from Metin. Horrible set to Sokolov, who is on court now. Sokolov out of the back line. Has he got the block? Blockers say no, referee says no, so we're going to need a challenge. And actually saying to his opposition, you don't like it, you challenge it. Let's see if they're going to. Gutchen's reaction looks like he has touched it. Tell from there. So, point 1, set 3. Challenge number 1, and the legend that is Svetan Sokolov, 37 years of age now, is back into the match. One appearance as a point blocker, but now he's on as a starter ahead of the man who's out of luck tonight, Marek Shotela. Let's take a look. Did this hit anything? Yes, it did. Sokolov has got himself a point on the challenge. Well played by Radostin Stoichev. Now that's going to make it interesting. That's definitely going to get the players talking. Halkbank take point number 1. The first point in a very long road to recovery. Massive hit. Very good from Jean Patry. That was not an easy ball to get on the end of. And I'll stick with my original point at the start of set 3. Actually has to use Patry, and he's got to get him into this match again. Alonso, the hero of set 2. These 3 magnificent spikes to keep his team in the lead. 3rd set point eventually taken. Well, no doubt at all about the plan on the other side of the net, because Ulaş Kayak, the setter and captain for Halkbank, wants Sokolov involved straight away. 2 points for him. And then the block from Baltashi. He got it all badly wrong at the end of the last set. He's got it all very right at the start of this one. 3-1, Halkbank Ankara, for the first time in the match, have a lead that they can call a lead. They might get another point here. Not a good pass from Gökçen. Defended, chance for 4-1. Sokolov given the ball again, tries to swing into a steep angle. Comes off the block, Kaziski goes tip. Controlled by Gökçen, too tight for Patry, has to go recycle. Gets the return and slaps it home. Baltashi got caught up in the wrong attack there and left Patry with room. Important contributions from Patry early in this set. Can he contribute from the service line? Yeah, good shot. Great pass. Oh, just over. And that's a little bit wasted there from Tümer, but they get a lucky another go and made to pay Halkbank by Gökçen eventually, but they nearly made a mess of that, did Galatasaray. Tempo ball once more. Doing for Patry this time, but Galatasaray back in the game. The reaction from Patry good. He's quite demonstrative tonight. He's quite emotional, which is unusual for him. He's clearly up for this one. Kaziski serve, passed well. Another pacey ball out to Gökçen. Well picked off the block by Hassan. Gökçen, clever shot. One legend turns to appeal to another legend. 2 Bulgarians there, Sokolov and Kaziski, beaten. Gökçen the serve. Good shot, ace off the arms of Lial. Gökçen hasn't contributed a huge amount in this match. He's played the backup, he's played P2 to the brilliance of Stephen Maher, but what he has done is he's made points at important times. Ace is 5th point for Gökçen. So 1 in, 1 out from him, 1 in, 1 out from Patry, but Galatasaray have at least overcome the early burst of energy from Halkbank. Shouldn't be a problem on the serve, isn't. It's not a great hit from Tümer, and I think it was going out. Ulaş has played that, and it's cost them a point. The system swing from Maher is excellent. Double figures for the Canadian. Back to this swift jump serve. Tümer. He's a beast of a man, isn't he, Sokolov? Whipped long, and Galatasaray are just working that little bit harder in this match to make points. So much of what they were doing from the service line was giving them easy opportunities. That doesn't exist anymore with this current situation. Sokolov's first serve, he's a big server. Too big on this occasion. Somewhere on the internet there is a marvellous bit of footage of him arriving for his first training session many years ago at Zenit Kazan. And he's not asked to do too much in the training session, but he's asked to go up onto a platform and hit some balls past the block onto the defence. Sokolov defence. There goes again. He's kept in the air. Chance for Mar. Chance taken off the fingertips, and Galatasaray moving through the gears again. It's been harder work for the points, but they've been prepared to put the work in. Great defence from the libero, Janke. Back to Sokolov on the table. Anyway, he starts trying to hit these balls. He hits a few in the net, a few out the back, a few in the block, and before you know it, that his teammates, his new teammates, are crying with laughter. It's a funny moment. Not so funny for Leal, the fact that Jean Patry is back in the match. Block, his 14th point of the game. (9-6) after a shaky start in this third. Galatasaray have a decent lead here. Out of system ball for Sokolov. Blocked. Leal again. They take their hands away, some of the blockers, but not all of them. And then that. Oh my goodness. It happens to the best of them. Actually, it was, took his hands away. And this was a golden opportunity for another swing, and actually, unfortunately, couldn't set it. However, Galatasaray seem to have moved things in their favour once more. It's up to Halkbank to make it count from the line. Easy pass. Yeah, I like that. I really like that from Ekşi. He was looking for the middle a long, long way off the net, but he made his mind up early, and he just made absolutely sure. And Alonso has been a tower in the middle. Substitution then, in comes Swivka for Leal. He makes his point to Radostin Stoichev. And in comes the Polish Olympic silver medalist. With the serve, goes after the libero. Good pass from Volkan. Super blocking. That is super blocking. Referee says out. Blockers utterly convinced this is well in. And an instant challenge from Andrea Gardini. Swifka's gone and got stuck in there. It's going to be very close, either way. Volkan thought it was going wide, so left it in a split second. He made that decision. Kaczynski initially wondering why his libero hadn't played it. We're about to find out whether the decision was wrong or right. In the context of the match, it's quite a big call, this. If they get it, keeps Galatasaray moving forwards. But if they do get it, there's a lengthy delay before the next serve, so momentum will be stopped temporarily. That is close, but that is a couple of millimetres wide. They're going to have to go zoom in on this one. It's not that clear. If that's in, it's the outer coating of the outer coating of the Mikasa ball. That's a very tough call. And it's been called in. Wow. Well, there we go. And Radostin Stoichev is lost for words temporarily. Gulash isn't, and feels it should be a let. But accepts the decision in the end. I mean, that is literally as close as you can get it. But that compressed enough for the outside covering of the ball to clip the outside part of the line for a 4-point lead to Galatasaray. And a good serve from Ma after all of that. Sokolov again given the ball, and just a reminder of what this beast of a man can do. I think I'm correct in saying Sokol in Bulgarian means hawk. It is hawkish. Oh, unlucky. A little bit unlucky. The deflection cost Swivka the play. Looked like it was going to be a relatively straightforward defensive touch. But the net stopped him playing it. Mar scores. 12th point of the game for him. Poor old Metin Gazi gets another telling off from his coach. First time Romy Alonso has done something wrong in a long, long while. And what Galatasaray need right now is serves in court. The momentum factor is massively important at this point for the home side. Right, 3 big blockers in the front line. This will be tricky for Gorchen. Goes tip, and brilliant tip. Sokolov says no touch. Referee says yes. It did touch you. Let's see. Right, so it's not the no touch argument, it's the who touched it last argument. These are fun. Exactly as it should be between two superstars of the game, XG and Sokolov. A good old laugh about that one. So Gorchen went powerfully at the tip. Now when you do this and you go powerfully at that tip to joust it off your opponent, sometimes your fingertip is still on the ball when the blocker's fingertip is off it. If that makes sense. So this is a perfectly reasonable challenge here. Radiston Stoichev. So here we go. Whose finger was on the ball last? Oh, yes, clearly it's Gorchen. It's another super challenge, but this time it goes Halkbank ANKARA's way. Gorchen has lost the point. Galatasaray have just lost some momentum. This is a tricky rotation to get off. Needs some inventiveness. Tumer giving it. Lovely defence. She gets hands on it for Patry, who didn't have a full approach. Trouble for Galatasaray, but they survive. Chance to attack properly here. Mar out of the back line. He worked his socks off for that ball. Mar realised that Bartashi was covering him on the block, and he has just hit a superb shot. Gave it everything. Much needed point for Galatasaray, and Halkbank once again left clutching at straws. Patry to try and open up a bigger lead. They don't need this. Galatasaray do not need these serve errors right now. Halkbank will be loving this. And Stoichev can see the rhythm has gone again for the opponents. Can they capitalise? Kaziski will try. Good serve. Overpass. Played by Sokolov. What a shot. What an insane shot. Great set. And a fabulous finish. Sokolov looks on fire here. 4 points already for him. 1 point in it now. Middle, no, over on 2. First time we've seen one of the setters use it today. And it's been used by Aslan XG, the captain of Galatasaray, to great effect. Gorchen contributed an ace last time he came to the line. Has to go off pace this time to make sure of it. Slightly ponderous and slow attack from Bartashi, but he's taken this ball really high. Yeah, that was very high. Good score. 6th point of the game for Bartashi, who serves. Well, so important So important that Patry is still able to do this for Galatasaray. I think he's the key. He is the key to them winning this game now. A sneaky ace from him would be so useful. Halkbank have to be careful here. Serving in the match so far has been good, but there's pressure on Galatasaray at the moment. Good hit. Out of system ball, what a set. Swivka, just superb. Ball is given in, and every single one of the Galatasaray players and coaching staff say it's out. That's a hell of a set. And this could be an amazing hit. Oh, that has touched Tume. That has touched Tume's shoulder. No wonder it's still with Halkbank ANKARA. Sokolov prepares to go again. Another massive point, this one, for Galatasaray, and they've gone Alonso. What a great dig from Hassan. Forced through the block by Swivka. It's coming back again. What a play. And Ma charges to the net. Not in time, as Swivka puts it down, and the momentum swing in favour of Halkbank ANKARA is massive right now. Well, Sokolov and Swivka to the rescue. Are we going the distance now? Sokolov off pace, 15 all. Forced into a tip, Jean Patry. Not a problem for Sokolov, and Patry can't control it. Halkbank race into the lead, and look at the energy from Alexander Swivka. He's come on and absolutely fired this up. Between he and the Bulgarian opposite. They're scoring rapidly, and Galatasaray now look to be in a bit of trouble. Timeout called by Andrea Gardini, but you know, you wait for these moments in games where things change dramatically. Well, this is a huge swing in favour of Halkbank, and if Stoichev has discovered a rotation that works, this could be the rotation that wins the game. Service for the moment, service pressure has gone for Galatasaray. So the focus now is suddenly heaped onto their side-out game, and it's not that clean at the moment. To find his setting rhythm once more. He's a brilliant pro, Alexander Swivka. He's a brilliant international. Having said that, but it's going to take some effort now for Galatasaray to win this set and win this match in 3. They can still do it, but it's going to be a huge push. Not the best from Alonso. Ma, given the ball, can't beat the blockers. And it's another point. He's been given almost no sets in this match, Ertugrul, but at last he gets one ball down. Well, I've put that down as his first point of the game, you know. Certainly an offence. 17-15, Sokolov still doesn't want to put too much heat on it. Just keeping the ball in play. Oh, that's a lovely tempo. Now, Swivka has come in with some energy here, but he's also come in with a bit of chat through the net. He's had a word with Gökçen after that one. It's funny how the experienced players influence a match. And they do so very cleverly, and I think the two captains may be required here, as the referee will ask them to tell their players to just keep it under control. You can't say anything through the net in this game. You can't celebrate through the net. Really allowed to comment either. You out there in Eurovolley TV land. know full well. It goes on all the time. Nicely done, ref, but let's see. He's just trying to guard against anything getting a little over the top. And it's getting that way. It's starting to get a little bit antsy down there on the sideline, a bit emotional. Right then, Stoichev's team are in this. Now, they've got to make it happen. These are three very important rotations with Ekşi in the back line for Galatasaray. They've got to score points. Swivka, off-pace volley, catches the blockers out. Ma tries full power, but the block was organised well. I wonder if Ulaş has got him there. He has. Great block from Ulaş. Shortest player out on the floor apart from the libero for Halkbank Ankara has just roofed one of Galatasaray's best hitters. Swivka. He's got a box of tricks at the service line. That wasn't one of them, unfortunately, for Halkbank. All about Halkbank denying Galatasaray right now. Keep the side-outs coming, stop the scoreboard turning. That's a good timeout. Really late call from Radostin Stoichev. Means Ma's got to go through his whole pre-serve routine again. Bank forcing a fourth set at least. I think they've got a chance to do more than that. Defended, but not well enough by Gökçen. Kaziski gets his team another point. To serve, to Grill. More chat on the sidelines. Are they going to let this substitution run? They are. So Ulaş Kayık, the captain, off. He'll be a little quizzical, seeing as he's just blocked Stephen Ma. But in comes the superior height, 2 meters and 7 tall Marek Şotala, 27 centimeters taller than the setter. Oh, he's got him. Alongside the very tall middleman, Baltashi. They've just pulled off a huge block here on Gökçen, and now Halkbank in control. Andre Gardini calls timeout once more. Second timeout this third set, but Galatasaray are in trouble here, not just in this set either. They are in trouble in this match if Halkbank continue to play like this. Looks like fun. Jumping around down on court. Problems here are pretty straightforward for Galatasaray. Patri has once again drifted out of the game. She, a veteran setter, maybe just feeling it a little bit. The pass is not as good as it was, so the middles can't be used. The serving has gone to pot from Galatasaray's point of view. It's the last thing Stoichev wanted to see after the timeout. Okay, Romeo Alonso is going to leave the court. In comes Jan Koch. So the backup opposite is on to serve. Still got actually the setter out there, so this is purely a serving and defensive substitution. Tips the net. Sokolov has got the ball on a string right now, and I think this game has changed. This game has changed dramatically in favour of Halkbank ANKARA. Watch out, not happy about it either. Nearly defended by Swivka. Got to get through these rotations. They need Patry back in the front line. Made another change. She out. USO setter Michael Wright in. Patry, big serve. Chance here. Dear me, what are Galatasaray doing? That is so lucky. That is so lucky. The first ball should have been hammered into the floor on the overpass. They messed around with it, somehow defended by Timet, and it's popped up right in the window for Gökçen to put it down. Timeout this time for Radostin Stoichev. If you can't be good, be lucky, as they say, and Galatasaray were then.
Now, the only thing that I ask you to don't stop for the second action. Now Matej was okay for block. Turn immediately the position and stay with open legs. Defense is down. We need to take one defense even out of the block, guys.
We go.
Halkbank fans still don't look that convinced. But they must be feeling that their team is in with a shot here. Well, once Patry is through this serve, then the rotations aren't as kind to Galatasaray. Halkbank will feel they've got a chance. This is a big service for Patry. Makes it. It's a good hit. Got time to find it. Free ball. Blocker covers nicely. Baltashi out of system. Gökçen wins the joust. But Sokolov's getting a swing. Defended by Patry. They play on. Right. Sends it out to Gökçen again. Super defence from Volkan. Oh, wow. What a point. And not for the first time in this match. We've got a stunning rally. Well, for the whole of the second half of that point, Galatasaray were protesting that it should have been theirs, but they played on. They played to the whistle. And Volkan mad with himself. Oh, Patry will be gutted as well. That was an important serve. That was such an important serve. Right then, we'll leave the court. Ekşi comes back in. I don't know if that is enough for Galatasaray. Kaziski to serve. The side outs aren't going to be quite as easy at the moment for Galatasaray, and they're even less so with the ace from Kaziski. I think this is on the line. In real time, that looks very close. Referee's given it out. Challenge from Stoichev. He's already had 2 successful challenges in set number 3. We'll make it a third for what could be a set-winning lead. She's not so sure. Yeah, it's in. It's an ace. It is an ace. Mati Kaziski right on time. And the substitutes doing a dance down there in the pig pen. Ace number 2, and Mati Kaziski is winning set number 3 for Halkbank Ankara from the service line. And Galatasaray's chance not just to win the set but to win the match. He's in the balance now. Absolute must. Patry back line, it's good. Well, there are positives to take away from this set with Jean Patry. We really need to enforce that at the start of set 4, because that is surely where we are going. Gökçen'de serve, 24-22, 2 set points for Halkbank Ankara, the first set points they've had in the match. Will Sokolov get the ball? No, fired wide to Swivka, who just marmalises it off the blockers and out. 25 points to 22. Halkbank Ankara wins set number 3, and we now have a game on our hands. Big set, 34 minutes for 25-22, plenty of brilliant action, plenty of contentious decisions on the challenge as well. Well, you guys watching will have your own opinion on this one, I know. But you really can't get past the feeling that a quite significant swing in momentum has gone in favour of this Halkbank Ankara team, and the changes that have been made by coach Radostin Stoichev have produced a much more stable feel to this rotation right now. So Johan de Lea is out, Alexander Swivka in, Poland in for Brazil, in that left side position. Out on the right side, Czechia's Marek Shodala has been replaced by one of the game's absolute greats, Svetan Sokolov of Bulgaria. They look fairly comfortable to Halkbank, so all of that pressure is now back on Galatasaray to find a big service game. They have to keep them out of system. Limited role for Koch so far. He's the backup opposite. Jean Patry is the best scorer at the moment for Galatasaray, just ahead of Stephen Maher, but he's not been able to contribute as much as he would like, and some key sets in that last contest didn't go his way. Right at the back end of set 3, the ball was not on the money. However, it's a couple of big serves, hit a couple of really nice shots, and a big block as well. So Patry at the back end of set 3, pretty positive, but overall it's not a positive situation for the home team here in the Burhan Felek arena. Very important here, Galatasaray try and stay on the front foot. Stephen Marr talking to the inexperienced Gökçen Yüksel, 21-year-old wing spiker ahead of this one on the other side of the net. The experience is vast for Halkbank in pretty much all positions. Away we go with another match between Galatasaray Istanbul in the red and orange and their Turkey rivals Halkbank Ankara. Another match that looks like it might have some twists and turns. The twist at the moment that is in play is Halkbank Ankara to take this to 5 sets again. Remember, first time they did it, they won it. Good with the service, another out-of-system pass for Ekşi. Makes the scoreboard turn, and the side-outs are going to be critical for both teams, but for Galatasaray, they then have to follow up with some serving, and there's a lot of pressure at the moment on the servers from the home side. Swifka waits to pass Romy Alonso. For the moment, it is rather lacklustre from Galatasaray, and that's the organic nature of volleyball. That's the way the game will ebb and flow between two very evenly matched teams, and these two teams are so closely matched. Captain fantastic, Ulash with the serve. Nice from Mar. That's what Galatasaray need, that little bit of aggression and pace brought back into the game. Beautiful pipe set from Ekşi. Monstered. Patry needs to be a monster. Off-pace serve, Koziski passes well, gets the return ball. Not quite defended, but not far off. Remember, both teams with an identical record at the moment. Two wins and two losses, sorry, and the one win. 3 points garnered from their matches so far, so this result tonight is huge. 3-1 for Galatasaray is still good. They'll still take that. Best Halkbank can hope for. It's a 5-set win. Probably means they would have to win the last one, and Sokolov this time beaten by Gökçen. Gökçen featuring pretty heavily for Galatasaray at the moment. Good control. Tumer with a rushed bump set. Mark makes the setter play it. And Koziski's missed his mark. Only just. Go for it still. Well, they built a 3-point lead in the last set, Galatasaray, and I thought that might be enough, but they've responded really well, Halkbank Ankara. And they've just turned this into a really, really tough game now for Galatasaray. There's a huge amount of work ahead for both teams. Halkbank clearly on the up. Off again. Chen pushed away roughly by his captain, the youngster told to get lost. But she's got it under control. Serve again, good pass. Halkbank's ball control is different league to the first two sets, and it means that incredible hitters like Sokolov can be released with a bit of room to work. So easy. Serve. Pace again. Ball control is good, and Romy Alonso continues to impress, although it's been quite a while since his last attack. The Cuban goes to 11. To serve Patry into the front court. Galatasaray have to get as many points out of Patry as they can. Defended. High to Mar's missed. According to the referees, missed, but he says touch off the block, and Gardini will challenge. Blockers are still shouting no touch. I can't see it off the fingernails of Swivka. Volkan the libero. Another one of those extremely experienced athletes involved in this match at 38 years of age. Probably one of the only players out there that can tweak the cheeks of Mati Kaziski like that. That is mighty close, but it is not a touch. Challenge lost, point lost. Well, Gökçen is still talking through the net to say, you know, you touched it, but the video challenge quite clearly showed that it was just the shadow passing across the hands that made it look close. Needs to focus on his game again, does young Gökçen. Not get too bogged down in these chats. And a smart check of the rotation there by the captain means that Swivka comes to the line. Just a little floaty ball down the line to Gökçen, who plays off the block. Patry goes again, and Patry is not scoring at the moment for Galatasaray. And Sokolov thinks he's got the hands. Challenge, please, coach. Probably uttered in Bulgarian from one to the other. The threat of the challenge produces the confession, so it is successful. Swivka goes again. Those canny float serves. Pretty tough to pass, but very nicely set by Arslan Ekşi. Galatasaray are just hanging in there right now. They're hoping against hope they can give themselves another chance. Points for Stephen Marr, who once again paces out his service approach. 7 apiece. Sokolov is looking unstoppable right now. 5 points, 6 points, my apologies, in the game. Easy ball. Various tellings off, ringing in his ears. Integral with the serve. And Patry off the block and out. Again, I can't emphasise enough how important John Patry is to Galatasaray's challenge to win in 4, let alone 5. Actually has to keep him involved. He's got to keep that rhythm. The rest of the team have to find some serving. Elena Kozot watches on. There's Romy Alonso. Goes jump float. Easy pass for Kaziski. He gets the return ball. Defended well. And then completely messed up by Patry. Defensive touch this, but Patry has super scooped it out of play. Hits Golchen, poor pass from him. Chance to go 2 up here for Halkbank. Sarkov is blocked at last. It's taken them a long time to get him down to the floor, but at last they've done it. Chen next to Tumer have been very good today. Closed it well on Sokolov. Patry forces it into court. Too good. Mati Kaziski has looked in tip-top physical condition in this game. Galatasaray are definitely on the back foot here. Good pass, tough serve. Patry makes the shot. Nicely done. So if they can get Patry round to the front court, run him across the front and score points, and then he can get a service run together, that is Galatasaray's best chance to win the game in 4. But if Halkbank can cancel that out by simply siding out and not allowing any runs of points for Galatasaray, then they will still be in with a shot of winning in 5, and it's a good shot. He scores, he serves. Into play. Ma, hard off the hands and away. Nice little bit of eye contact with Svetan Sokolov afterwards. It's good hitting from the Canadian. 15 points for Ma. Right, they need something. Galatasaray needs something. Tumer served well in the game so far. And again, out of system ball for Swivka. Tough shot. Not put onto the floor. Ma gets up, hits hard and hits well. It's not always these glorious free-flowing points that are important in matches. Sometimes it's those hard-working efforts. Ma from the floor gets up and makes the play. Great piece of work from him. It involves everybody in the post-point celebration. Tumer, another serve that he has to put in court. All of this stuff for Galatasaray, massive bonuses before Patry returns to the front line. Swivka power tip. And they're not happy with it, Galatasaray, but that's one of his trademark shots, and as long as he keeps his arm pencil straight, he'll get away with it. All Sokolov, and he influenced the game again. Yeah. Wow. He has not hit any powerful serves in the match until then. It's been off-pace, well-directed serving, and this is just so accurate. Still only about 80%, but he's chopped it away from Ma. Trouble again for Galatasaray. Tries it again. Chen ducks underneath the ball and it's sailed out of bounds. Now remember, Halkbank still have a big ace to play with Marek Schottler. They can bring him in as a point blocker for Ulash at the back end of the set. They've got Leao, can potentially return in some kind of capacity. And all the time that Halkbank make the points easily, particularly when Patry is in front court, they are robbing Galatasaray of opportunities to score and get a lead. Great availability from Metin Ertuğrul. Swivka then, these little cop float serves, sometimes brings power, but no, it's the float again. Passed well by Chen. Ma, not his cleanest hit, but it's in. Sounded a bit splooshy off the hand. He's made it. Every serve from the players that can score at the baseline for Galatasaray, massive now. Ma's the next man to have a go. It's a good serve, it's a great pass. In play. Chen has to just volley it over. And that's tight. Kaziski can't put it down. Patry to score. Yes, he does. And Kaziski didn't jump after that point. In fact, he stopped. And he's not moving all that well as he trudges back to his position. Awkward landing. I think he feels he probably already stepped over the line, so the point was done anyway. It's quite dramatic there. He's not happy still. Stephen Ma. His moisture on the court isn't properly cleared. Right. No timeout called yet by the coach, but if Ma scores again here, I think Stoichev has to stop the game. This is a massive serve. And it's in the net without any problems for Halkbank. 15 all then. On we go, and Stephen Ma mad with himself. Understandably so. He knows how important that one was. Ertuğrul then, not the coach's favourite boy today, but he's still out in court. He's Metin Ertuğrul. Oh, huge, utterly huge from Alonso. He's been brutal today with his offence. Lovely set again on that quick ball. Shot way across court. 12 for Romy Alonso. And boy, do they need him to produce a serve. He's got an ace today off a big topspin hit. Does he go again? No, it's jump float instead. Kaziski overpasses, clawed into the air by Ulash. But Patry has a chance, and Patry takes it. And Galatasaray make a move. Wow, this is some hit. Must make serve for Alonso. Stoichev still hasn't called timeout. It's Swivka. Sokolov out of the back line again, just imperious. Etchi down, let's hope that's not a problem. Ouch, yeah, bit of an awkward fall there for the Galatasaray captain. I think he's more upset he didn't defend it. Heading to double figures now, Svetan Sokolov. Galatasaray with a break to defend. Can they do so against Ulash's serve? They can. Tumer hasn't been set for a good long while. I reckon that's the first ball he's had in about a set and a half, Tumer. But he was available, and he's done it. So 2 attack points. Well, Aslan XG is not happy, really not happy about being removed from court. So the substitution is made. There's a chance for Galatasaray to settle. Stoichev having a word with his Halkbank players, just trying to reset. Trying to get Baltashi to be in the right place to get those big hands of his in front of the ball. Asking for explanations from the assistant coach. Rakemre Diria and Chalgar Dai on the bench. Just back up to Radistin Stoichev. So we're back to where I talked about being about 5 minutes ago. Patri's got across the front line and they've made points. This serve now can win them the match. And that is a towering block from Gökçen, who this time keeps his celebrations towards the bench and his own team. The youngster has just launched himself to block Sokolov. It's a massive stop. This is a massive service, has to go in. Does so. Out of system ball then for Kaziski. Blocked again, and Galatasaray are on their way. Three-man block. Gökçen joins it and makes 2 stops in a row with Tumer. Into the net, still leaves a bit of room for drama, but a run from Galatasaray has got the fans in good voice again. Right, briefly in for Ekşi is once again returned to the bench. Ekşi back in. Kaziski to serve. He serves out of bounds. Galatasaray take another step closer to the magic 25. I don't mind this substitution because if Koch misses, then the responsibility for the service is not on Gökçen's shoulders. He comes back on with a clear conscience to pass. Koch can go full throttle here. He's got license to hit hard, and he hits very hard. Trouble ball. Power tip from Swivka again. He's defended. Ma just decides to roll it past the block. Somehow kept off the floor by Ulash, and it's still in play. Close to the line there, and too good. Finally, a volleyed ball over is met with a massive response, and Halkbank score. Chances were there. Back in for Koch. That's the last role Koch will play in this set. And once again, we've got the substitution of Baltashi off, and in comes Brody Hofer. Huge amount of pressure on him. And he's done exactly the right thing here. Restart your shot routine, your pre-serve routine. Get sucked into any of this. Right, Ekşi hasn't set Alonso in the middle for a little while, so maybe a chance here, but it's Tumer front court, and it's slapped home beautifully by Patri. Alonso not in the front line just yet. be there soon. Good serve from Hoffer, really good, but a beautiful pass and a fine finish from the Frenchman. Well, this is a really, really good effort from Galatasaray because the momentum in favour of Halkbank was huge. Sokolov and Swivka had made all the difference. Again, that pass switch. Hit the libero. Libero pass as well. Swivka hits hard off the hands and out. And all the time that Halkbank keeps scoring, there are chances. Sokolov at the line now. Served brilliantly last time he visited. She's on Sokolov. But he loves a challenge, we know that. 3 points to find to be a hero again. Off pace, no pressure on the serve at all, and Mar slots it home. And Radostin Stoichev has just had a big old shout at Sokolov for the service. No pressure on it at all, and Mar has found the point. Well, Stephen Mar got a shot at MVP along with Jean Patry, I think. Now, after his performance in this game, Ekşi has battled hard. And when he does that, the captain knows that that is just inviting trouble. However, he's back court now. They've got the 3 front court hitting options, one of whom is Patry. He's got Alonso, his favourite middle, into the front line. And if the pass is good, Halkbank will be struggling to stop Galatasaray here. Swivka. Pass is good. And Mar manages to whack it home off the blocker's hands to produce 4 set points for Galatasaray. It's been a hell of a battle, and full marks to Galatasaray. They've shown considerable character here at home. Radostin Stoichev uses his second time out. They've turned a really, really difficult situation into a positive with some superb work through the rotations. They really needed it to work in. That's where Galatasaray have managed to get this back on track. And the home fans making themselves heard. Stephen Mar in line for an MVP shout with the service. Had a good game tonight. Hits it hard. Ball passed well. Kaziski is defended. Chance here on an open swing for Gökçen. And that is kept off the floor and dug out of play. Galatasaray have got themselves out of a very tough spot to win this game in 4 sets, and a victory that could prove crucial in terms of their progression in this year's competition. A game that started tamely. It's a game that's finished with a serious amount of emotion. It was an unusual first set, Galatasaray destroying Halkbank. Then it got closer, and then Halkbank got back in the game, and they will be feeling that really they should have pushed this all the way through to set 5. Instead, though, 25-22, the victory for Galatasaray. As the two teams wait on the baselines. The announcement of MVP will be forthcoming shortly. And it's gone to Jean Patry, top scorer by a single point on the evening over the Canadian Stephen Mar. did produce some really good volleyball in that last set. So most valuable player goes to the French Olympic champion. And we're just waiting for the award to be presented. Hopefully we'll get a chat with him at some point. He really looked up for the game tonight, did Jean Patry, and he produced some good stuff. Brilliant. Stephen Marr delivers the matrix board. Classic stuff. He's done a bit of everything tonight, hasn't he, Mr. Marr? So the MVP award presented. VIPs confirmed as Jean Patry, and now we're going to get a word with the Frenchman.
What do you think about your performance and your team?
I'm very happy because we knew it will be very tough tonight. It's a very big team, so every game against them is difficult. So we fight. We start very well the set, I think. And it's a good thing because sometimes we start not so well and it's difficult to stay on the game. So today we stay on the game and we start very well the first and second set. So I'm happy because we stayed together until the end, so it's good.
And what's your prediction about group stage?
Difficult to say. It will be very tough. This group is very tough. So now we have still 2 big games in Roslav and in Lublin. So now we have to fight.
Thank you.
2 big games to come, as Jean Patry says, but if they can get something out of one of those games, maybe there's a chance. Halkbank ANKARA, it doesn't look like they're going to be going all the way to the Final Four as they did last season. Good effort tonight from them to come back from the situation they found themselves in. Galatasaray managing to recover their composure and grab that momentum back to get a big win. So there we go, that's all from the Burhan Felek Volleyball Salonu here in Istanbul. It's a win for the home side, HDI Galatasaray Istanbul, and they had to do it the hard way. They did have a chance to win in 3, but couldn't quite finish it there. And Halkbank ANKARA, the bounce back was strong, and it was nearly strong enough to force the issue all the way to 5 sets. But in the end, it was the home side that got it done for their second win of this CEV Zeren Group Champions League campaign, and they head off to say thank you and to celebrate with the fans. And we'll be heading off too here on Eurovolley TV. Thanks for your company over the last couple of hours. That was a real showdown.
Kaptan tebrik ediyorum. 3-1'lik bir galibiyet. Maçın başından sonuna kadar aslında üstün bir Galatasaray izledik ama yalnızca 3. sette Halkbank'ın bir üstünlüğü oldu. Nasıl değerlendiriyorsun hem kendi hem de takımın performansını?
Evet, bugün kazanmamız gerekiyordu çünkü grup gerçekten çok karıştı. Avrupa'da yolumuzu devam etmek istiyorsak bugün kazanmamız lazımdı. 3 puanla kazandık. Gerçekten ilk set Doğancı domine ettik oyunu. 3. sette de aslında basit hata yapmasaydık maçı bitirebilirdik 3-0. Ama 4. set tekrar kendi oyunumuza dönüp maçı 3-1 kazanmasını bildik. Şimdi önümüzde Rosalie ve Dublin deplasman maçlarımız var. En az bir maç kazanıp şampiyonluğa yolumuza devam etmek istiyoruz. Ben ayrıyeten bir parantez açmak istiyorum seyircimize. Bu takım gerçekten de sezon başından bu zamana kadar çok zor zamanlar geçiriyor. Ama sezonun başından bu zamana kadar da ivme yakalamış bir durumda. Seyircimizi, Galatasaray taraftarımızı, camiamızı, bizim maçlarımıza ve desteklerini bekliyoruz. Çünkü bu takım bence birkaç kupaya göz kırptığını düşünüyorum. İnşallah onlar da destek olurlar ve yolumuza devam ederiz.
Peki tur atlama konusundaki şansınızı nasıl değerlendiriyorsunuz?
Demin de söyledim. 2 maçtan bir tanesi kazanmamız lazım. Rosalie burada kazanmıştık ama iyi oynuyorlar. Geçen günde Lublin deplasmanında 3-0'a servis attılar. Tehlikeli takım. Kendi ellerinde çok iyi oynuyorlar. Zor bir maç bizi bekleyecek ama biz böyle oynadığımız sürece bakalım göreceğiz.
Teşekkürler.
Sağ ol.
Eyvallah kaptan. Görüşürüz.